Today I'm doing work that I don't really like, or actually I dislike. Do I hate it? No, but I hate being here. Uh, I don't like it. And sometimes I get the feel that it's okay, it's a challenge, and I know once it's done, I feel good. Like, okay, that was another challenge. That was another job. Move on, get my money, use my money for my life, learning, experiences, and adventures. If I had no learning experience after work, I would say, why I'm still around, why I'm still alive, was like a waste. It's I don't want to be a waste of food, energy, time, resources. I don't want to be a waste. And once I complete this type of jobs that sometimes I don't like, sometimes I totally dislike, sometimes rarely I have I can't say I hate, but because it's not a word that it's in my head. I'm not a hateful person, but I wish I didn't have those jobs. So if after work, after this type of stuff, I did not have a good life experience, like learning something new, being able to use the money after that job to my pleasant life experiences, to learn some new hobby, new stuff, new activity, I would say, you know what, I don't want to be a waste, but I'm not a waste. And it feels like I'm contributing a bit. Uh, I wish I've been I wish I was getting more respect for the work I put in my workplace, my family, and other places. Um, Everyone needs that to feel significant for the work they put into the society. Unfortunately, people are being treated like machines, and you go to work. People think, yeah, my coworker or my teammate or something. So they get used to a normal that you always show up, you always do your stuff, you always perform. And when you stop performing because you need to take care of your mind or emotions or your health, you see that they turn their backs on you, and that's very hurting. So not to receive some sort of a thankful emotions. If you don't get those, then you stop putting your effort into what you do at work, and you start disconnecting yourself emotion wise from the workplace. It's like you just show up and you do your stuff, you pretend to work and they pretend to pay. So, and that's not um, a good trade. Is I mean, it's just a business relationship, but it's not serving anyone. It's not serving you on the long term, at least. If you think that, yeah, I will retire, yeah, maybe I'll serve you because you can put some money aside, but otherwise, emotion wise, health wise, it's not serving you. Um, right now, I'm doing some work which is common for what I do. Uh, and I've done that more often in the past, and I didn't like it. Sometimes was okay, but I didn't like it. But good thing that was not a constant type of work, like everyday work. Uh, but it was good for me to get out of the office, have some challenges and stuff like that, get me outside of my comfort zone, was okay that way. So if I look at what benefits I'm getting out of this type of tasks, and yeah, so I do work with power tools, diagram, wrenches, drilling holes into beams, walls, and stuff. Um, but I'm not your regular worker. I'm not one of those. That's why I have this channel, this YouTube channel. I have another channel of my adventures and discoveries and philosophical talk, because I'm different. And talking about anxiety, today I felt like I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to just show up, do some basic stuff, like let me put some light on my face. The light comes from a drill. I don't have a flashlight here. Now you can see my face better. I wanted to show up, install some stuff, do minimal work, and wait for the coffee to kick in, but was no coffee effect here. It's like tiring. And one reason is that yesterday I've been to do some workout at the physio, and again, that was second time this week, and I pushed my body a little bit beyond its current limit, and yeah, the drill has a flashlight that has to be activated every couple of seconds, and my first one was Tuesday, and Wednesday was awful. The whole day my body was aching, my joints were aching, and I said, okay, I have another one on Friday, no, on Thursday. Should I go for the second one? Should I take it easy? But I did. So, what this one has anything to do with anxiety? I mentioned in my other videos, maybe on another channel, that when your body suffers, it pushes your mind into out of its own comfort zone. So the mind, it's like a cloud of information, cloud of energy information that has intelligence, and it needs it's like it's thinking. So the mind is thinking. It's like not only processing stuff, but also has thoughts, and it's like an alive thing, part of who you are. So you have an alive body full of life force, but also the mind. The mind is an alive energy. It's like a artificial intelligence that is thinking and it's feeling the body and feeling what the body is doing and experiencing life here, and it's very cool stuff. And since this alive energy is not because it has life, but it's alive, is like it's thinking, it's like it's animated type of energy, has its own limits. And when the body is aching, it's crying, it's like a mother suffering. It's like, okay, I need to deal with my own thoughts and wishes and dreams and stuff. And now this horse or this animal I'm using, or this, it's a biological machine, is hurting. It kind of stops me from achieving my dreams. I mean, some minds are not into achieving big dreams. That's who they are. It's like the soul is not like conquering the world, being Donald Trump trying to get to the top of the world. No, it's just like some souls are here for a different purpose. And But some of those, like myself, I don't want to be like a top of my game or anything like that. But still, I want to do stuff. I want to do stuff. I want to feel the, I fulfill a purpose and I help others. You know, I have some dreams, and my horse sometimes is saying, ah, yeah, take a break. And I'm thinking, I need to take care of the horse because it's hurting, it's screaming in pain. And that gives me some anxiety. And it's not only that, but the pain itself, listening to the body, monitoring the body, because I still want to monitor the body instead of taking painkillers to numb the body. Like I said, shut the fuck up. I'll give you some painkillers, shut the fuck up. No, I'm not like that. I do respect my partner. Oh, some people just got in. The workers got here to discuss about lunch. I think it's lunchtime. Today I won't take lunch. So that's the idea. If you have some emotional imbalance, like your mind has some suffering, some crying because of life experiences past, then emotions that are overwhelming the mind, emotions that comes from maybe a hormonal imbalance, or maybe how you program your body to respond to different type of stimuli. Uh, some people, like some soul, are training their bodies to cry out of small pain, like they exaggerate stuff, or the mind is using the body to process information that through the brain that are useless. Let's say you program your body to turn on the TV. For some reason I say you use your body as an external thing of your mind. It's all one entity because the way you got used to it. But let's say if I call your body you, you train yourself to watch TV, watch the worst news, then use this artificial intelligence that built by Google and by other high-tech companies, use their AI to teach them what you like. So you start browsing certain news and they will pop ads and they will show news that they think that you like. And also when you are part of their target audience, they also send you news and videos on the search page or on your mail, or maybe just Google page, or the news when you have a news page activated on your phone or on your maybe Windows 10 PC. You will see news popping up and you look like that big hurricane, that big airplane crash and all those things. And those things are never useful to you. I mean, they might give you some emotions, and why you watch those? Because the emotions you get are a feeling that you enjoy. So if those emotions would hurt you, let's say you see a plane crash and you think, ooh, it's hurting my feelings, I can't take it anymore. The mind will tell you, stop watching that because it's hurting. When you were a kid and you were exposed to see death or a human body decay or dead bodies or something, the mind would prevent you from watching those. You rarely see kids being attracted of this type of images, like seeing blood, seeing nasty scenes, accidents. They don't want to see that because the mind has the intelligence to protect and prevent the body to open the eyes and look into those scenes. So you have these protected mechanisms written in your code, in your soul, in your information that came from the other world into this material world when you took the body as your partner, as your horse. Um, you are programmed in a way that you don't destroy your body. And by following the social norms, by falling into certain traps, or maybe you have some bad parents that teach you how to do drugs and stuff, it bypasses that mechanism. So at first you would reject as a soul, you would say, you know what, I don't want to see that. It's like it hurts. It's like when the kids are being exposed to porn at first, when they are like 5 years old or something, so it's really unpleasant and hurting for their soul. That's why when a young woman is being forced, not really raped, but forced to go into sex trade or something, that's really trauma. And the adult think, oh yeah, she likes it, she loves it or something, but actually it's trauma for her mind. The body might like it because it's a machine, but the soul is suffering a trauma because the soul is not really accommodated to this material world and to what the body wants, what other society wants, what peer, all the people who got trained or maybe used to some nasty stuff, yeah. And so slowly, Google is hurting you, but it doesn't hurt you, making you cry when you see these scenes because they are sneaky. So they target the audience that it's already used to seeing car crashes and stuff like that. So the soul got tricked into listening to the body that generates some dopamine or something because the body was conditioned to get some emotions out of some sort of images or experiences and stuff, and now the body being programmed to generate that type of emotional and hormonal response, the mind say, oh yeah, it's good. Same thing with people doing drugs. The body responds to drugs in a certain way, and the mind say, yeah, okay, better than suffering. That's why people do drugs. So back to the anxiety. Why people suffer of anxiety more than other people? If you want to do a study, compare the people who started their work first as a hobby. So they, let's say, they had a hobby to fly airplanes, and slowly they decided, you know what, this it's fun, and I feel like being in the air all day, and now I want to be commercial pilot. And but I'm not talking those who thought, yeah, I think I want to be a pilot, and I'm going through schools and then become airline pilot, because that's like driving a bus with wings. And I keep saying this is my um, comparison: big box, metal box with wings. That's a big airplane, and the pilots are drivers who have more complex motor skills than the bus drivers. It requires um, more training, more experience to drive that big bus with wings in the air. And so if you see this one, the passionate people rarely suffer of anxiety. Why? Because they are in tune with what they do. They love what they do. People who get love in their relationship is not a boring relationship, is not a trade, is not a bullying relationship, is not a relationship where they don't feel significant. It could, I'm talking about not only personal relationship with like a family relationship, but even at work or with friends. Some people have a bunch of friends, but they are friends because it's a trade. They get something. Like these people always set up parties in order to keep the friends around. But that's naive because they lack of love themselves, and they want to have people around because they feel that emotions, it feels good to have people pretending they love. But once they stop throwing parties and feeding those who always come for the honey, yeah, those would leave, and the person feels alone again and with less money in the account. That's very common. Uh, so that's the idea. If you do something that you don't like, and if your body, your soul had some suffering because of, I don't know, childhood trauma, or I don't know, uh, previous relationships, um, loss of someone you love, loss of a child, stuff like that. If the soul is hurting, if you do something that you don't love, if you are in a just trade relationship, like you are connected to someone, but they are not emotionally involved, or you have different expectations. If you don't feel that you are valued as a human being, then they increase the chance of anxiety episodes. Then, if you don't deal with that, they turn into panic attacks and lack of sleep. Then it will destroy your health. Some religious people believe that this is a demonic attack, but it's just your mind. And sometimes the mind thoughts will attract a darker energies or destructive energies that interfere with your mind, and it's like being attacked by a virus, and that's true because those energies are like your mind energy, like very similar to computer programs, but are more complex, and like compared to artificial intelligence, which is limited. Uh, so you can tap into external energies, you can connect to other things, you can do some networking with your mind, connect with invisible entities and stuff. So it's really complicated. AI also can do that, but at this stage of human IT development, they are very limited. Now, I need to let you go. I need to complete some of my work here, some type of electrical work I do, specialty electrical work. And see you later. Bye bye. You take care of your mind, because if it suffers, it needs care and love. So love yourself first. It's important. Don't love others before you. You are the most important entity in the world from your reference point, from your perspective. Other people are the most important from their perspective. As long as your world does not collide with the other people's world, if they interact in a pleasant way, in a constructive way, that's good. But uh, if you don't find a common ground with someone, then move on. So, same thing, workplace. If you don't have a common ground, if you don't gain stuff, if you don't feel respected, if you don't get pleasure, if you don't feel in tune that your work has a meaning, if you're not told that your work has a meaning, if you're not rewarded properly for that, then you have to move on, because your world and yourself are the most important.